All right, we're back with the advice column. And today we're going to be talking about data notebooks. I was walking around meeting a lot of different staff members, and a lot of you were excited about the school year, but you're like, I want to create some type of data notebook to organize all of my students' thinking. And that's a great. And I'm so excited about all of these different activities. So if you want to co-teach or use any of these strategies, happy to do so, because this is going to be huge. And I think we'll probably want to start setting this up in September, because during the month of August, you're going to want to collect your any like iReady data or any Google Slides type work sample. Any work samples that you can gather is what we're going to want to kind of do in August. And then in September, we'll be ready to set these up and train the students. And so again, if you need an extra set of hands or you need help doing this, let me know. So right here with those student portfolios, here are 4 different ideas on how you could do this and how you could organize it. And again, you've got to kind of figure out what's best for you, what's best for your students. How do you want to best organize and have your students be successful with this, these different ideas and using these different student portfolios or student showcase? Okay, so the first idea is a data notebook. And this is just a Google slide. And Abby Castle, she created this, and she is an amazing teacher. So right here, if you click it, there is data notebooks in here, first, second, third, fourth, and then kindergarten, and then also an IEP data notebook. So you can just click this and you can go to File and make a copy. Once you go to make a copy of her data notebooks, then your students use this and they click their boxes. And here, let me go ahead and make a copy of this. So File, make a copy. Once I have a copy of my data notebook, the students can come in here and I would assign this to all of my students. And then I can go in here and I'm able to decide how many of these squares I need to color. And so again, my students, they kind of highlight, this is my score on iReady, and then they can use the paint bucket to begin to develop their graphs for their different data. So really cool. Love that she created this. Again, students just go in, they highlight which areas they're your strengths, which areas are their weaknesses. And there's all these different data points that you can use. And feel free, again, customize. If you're like, oh, I don't use this, change it. What do you use? And add what you need and what you use in here. Students can develop a goal and a plan. And then again, you're always constantly checking in with students. Data notebooks work really well in a blended learning classroom. And so what that might look like is either it's a station rotation, and one of the stations is students working on their data notebooks. Another day, it might be that group is coming to you with their data notebooks to kind of go over and get feedback on that information. Another thing with data notebooks is if you run like a must-do, can-do type classroom or a choice board or checklist or grid method, any of those type of blended learnings, you can call up your students whenever you want and have those individual conversations with them as well. So this is, again, that data notebook. It's just a Google slide, and you can assign this to your different students as you might want. Option number 2, this one is a website. So if you want to kind of go deeper, this website might be a really cool idea for you. This is in a folder. The reason it's in a folder is because right now Google Sites is kind of weird to copy. And so what you're going to do is you're going to click here, and then you're going to make a copy of this Google site. Once you open up this Google site, you're going to notice a couple different things. This is the home screen. If this was me with my students, I would have them customize their student showcase screen, and I would have them use Canva. You're going to hear that term a lot because I am a huge Canva fan. So they'll sign in, and if they go into Google Classroom headers, they can pick out a template that they might want to use for their website, or they can create their own blank canvas. So again, they're going to want to find one of these like sizes, and then they can choose how they want to use it. So maybe they want to use this one, and they can put maybe Stephanie's portfolio. They can write whatever they might want to write. They can change any colors, they can change the fonts, or they could change whatever theme they want to do. And again, they could do it using this, or they could create a blank new one as well. So that might be like day 1, is just getting this home page ready. So I've got my name, my bio, they're just writing a quick intro about them, and then they're filling in the blanks as they might. The next one is an about me. And again, you can take away any of these and customize them for your students. This is that True Colors survey. So right here is more information about the True Colors. And this is a personality test. These colors really help you with giving feedback to students. So if you're interested in learning more, there's a video on here. But I'm also happy to kind of walk through this survey as well. It helped me a lot working with adults, and you're able to use that again with your students to provide them meaningful feedback that will help and enrich them with their different activities. Maybe you want to add a multiple intelligence type test. There's a survey that I've created using Google Forms with one of my friends, Luis. So there's, again, a video to walk you through it, but if you need help, happy to help as well. And then you can kind of see how all of this works, and it will create a survey for your students. This next one is on growth mindset. Jen Kirk, she did a study on this, and we're tracking students' growth mindsets to see if it would grow after doing a couple different activities. And so you can watch the video again, and then over here is all the resources that you need to be able to copy this and use this in your classroom as well. So this one is, again, the About Me page. The students could change whatever they might want to change. And before you send this out to students, you want to go in and update for your own classroom. What do you want the kids to have? What do you want them to do? So you want to get your template all set up for your students. And then once that is all set up, you're ready to kind of rock and roll. The students will go in, they'll make a copy of this, and then you'll be able to support them as well. Pride. This is where the students are going to put in their work. Again, they can change any of these headers if they want to. They're going to put in an image, a screenshot. They can put in a actual work sample from Google Drive or Google Slides, Google Docs, anything like that. They're able to do whatever, screenshots or Google Slides or Google Docs or spreadsheets. They can even upload videos, which could be really cool as well. And so right here, you can see I'm most proud of this work because, and then the students fill in the blank and they explain what made them really happy about this work. And you can add more, you can leave it with whatever. And what I might do is I might have like a week of different work samples. Okay, which one are you most proud of that you want to put into your data notebook, and let the kids pick. So that could be an option as well. This is version 2. So if you're working with like multiple grade levels, you could kind of keep it. And I might do like a Google slide, upload the Google slide, and then that Google slide's just for kindergarten. Then create a new Google slide, and that's for first grade. Create a new Google slide for second grade and upload it there. But this one, you would kind of need to be a large spread of people using this. But it could be really cool to see every single student's work from kindergarten all the way to 12th grade. So that could be an idea as well. And then goals. So right here, your students, they can put their strengths, what they need to work on. They can create different goals for themselves, and then they can write who's going to help them achieve it. Right here, if you click more resources, there's additional ideas that you could use as some of these reflection type questions if you need a little bit more help. These monthly reflections are really fun as well. You can see here we've got August, September, October, November. And right here, if you click as a teacher, you'll be able to make a copy of these different reflection for your students. So I can see August, here's the student reflection newsletter. They put in their reading, their school targets, their memorable moments, and then students are responsible to send these to their parents. So what I normally did is I print off the parents' emails and I hand them out to my students, and then they click this share button and they put in that parent email and shared it with the parents that way. And so it was just fun for the parents to see what was going on every single month. And so then the kids could just add their monthly reflections right into these different areas as well. And here's an example if you wanted to see an example. If you're interested in these reflections, you can buy them here on Teacher Pays Teacher. So they are available right here on Teachers Pay Teachers as well. Data notebooks. So right here is the, that same data notebook. It's just embedded on the Google slide. So here it is on the Google site. So there's the Google slide right here. The students can open it and they can update their data binder. And this one kind of looks a little bit different than the one that I showed. I added like the growth mindset thing. I've added iReady. And again, you can kind of decide what do I want to keep? What do I want to take out for my students to kind of customize it for my own classroom? So again, you want to have all those templates ready to go. So that way your students are ready to kind of learn as well. And then if you were using that same data notebook over multiple grade levels, you could create a template that has all those grade levels and then just embed that template onto whatever grade level you're working with. So again, if you don't want to worry about the version 2, just go in and you can delete those. It's not hard to delete. So if I'm right here, I need to go over to right here. Let me open up the editing version. There we go. Oh, I'm not in the editing version. Let me see if I can edit it. I might be in the wrong account, but you can go in and you're able to delete these sections. And if you need help, feel free to reach out as well. The next part over here is more, you could do daily writing and you could use 8 parts. So if you click day 1, this is the 8 parts. It's an Edu protocol. And what your students do is they have a graphic organizer and then they're looking at an image. So you put an image right here and then they write 3 word titles of that image. They add verbs, adverbs, all of these different parts of of grammar, and then they can create their summary, and then you could add that on every single day, and then their writing will improve. Again, it's that repetition. You're able to give them feedback on these different parts of speech. So that could be another option as well. And you could add more. You could use Math Reps, which is spiral review with your students, and there's a whole website, if you go to mathreps.com, that you could have your students go to. And if you go to Math Reps on Jamboard, there are so many examples. And so then you just pick your grade level. Once you have your grade level, you can see these different examples on how you could also use this in your classroom. And again, it's just kind of seeing that over and over progress of your students. So that is the student showcase. Again, this one is really cool. It's going to be great for working with students, but also when it's parent-teacher conference time, why not do a student showcase where your students are leading that conference? And if it's through Google Meet, just have the students share their screen and they walk through their data notebook with their parents. So that could be a really great resource for you. And again, it's a little bit more in depth than this one, but it could be a great way for you to have conversations with your students to show them about their progress. Okay, idea number 3 is a Google Sheet. This one is like less involved, and there's a video of a student going over their digital notebook that is a spreadsheet. So if you start on the title page, and again, you want to create this and then you will add this or share it with your students. And so on this front page, they're making like a title page. They're adding their name, they're adding their photo, they're telling what grade they're in. And again, you can add whatever you need to add on this title page. Once they have their title page, they're doing a quick about me page, and you could add more questions or take away questions. And it's just about the student. I could even ask like a learner profile, like, how do you learn best? Do you learn best when it's quiet, when it's loud? And have those different conversations with your students as well. Right here with the iReady reading, students can type in their score. So if they got like a, let's say 45, and their goal was 66. They can see that on the chart, and the chart pops up with that data for those students. Same thing with iReady Math. This is kind of a fun activity. It reminds me of a portfolio of like a graduate. So like, what makes a quality student? And then your students can write out like what makes that quality student and what should I kind of aim to do when I'm working on these different things. So it's just like describing them. And what you can do is you can have the student and then they can write words around their face about like a hard worker, someone that double checks their work, somebody that turns in work on time, and they're writing out what makes a quality student around them. Common assessments, again, they write their score. Maybe they create a goal of how well they want to do, and then they can see that data on that chart as well. And you might want to split up common assessments by subject. So if that is the case, you'll just duplicate this tab, and then you can write math, ELA, or whatever you want to do to organize it. And then quality work, students can write what makes a good writer, what makes a good math, and they can write those different things down as well. Personal goals. So right here, students write the date, they write what they're reading or what their goal is, and then they can score it. Like, I didn't understand it, they can give themselves a 1. They can add all of these different scales to kind of self-assess their reading or whatever they're working on. Vocabulary, students can add a topic, they can add words, definition, examples, and they have like their own little dictionary right with their vocabulary. Fluency, students can write the date, they can put a link to their recording, and then the link to the rating. And then they can listen to themselves back in August all the way until May, and they can see their improvement. So can their families. So again, you can add, if you like the, maybe you like the Google site, and you're like, well, I really like that fluency idea. You can add that onto your student showcase. You're able to customize your portfolios for your students, but I would do it before you send it out. It's just easier that way, but you can go back and edit any of these as well. There's also a physical binder. So you could buy those white binders or have your students bring those in. And I like to kind of call them like a scholar file. And right here, I might put the little owl face, and then I can put who it's for. And then I can cut these out, put them on the outside of the binders. And then here's just pages. And so I'm just making like different pages for my students. So that way they can just go into their physical binder, put the paper right into where it needs to go, and then they can just use paper and pencil to track their work as well. So again, you could use this design. You could create your own design. But I just think data binders can really help students focus in on their work, and it can really help them set goals, and it helps them kind of become those learners that are excited about learning and about school and meeting those goals. So it can also motivate students and create that ownership in our learners. So if you need help implementing any of these ideas, feel free to reach out. Happy to help, happy to customize. If you're like, okay, I loved what you showed in the Google Sheet, but I want to take away this. Can you help me? I can help you. We can set up a meeting and we're able to do that. Maybe you're like, I want to do that Google site, but I can't do it alone. Invite me in. Happy to co-teach with you and work on that student showcase and getting that set up, and then having you feel successful for the rest of the year to do that with your students. So these are just some ideas. And again, if you have more, fill out this Google form right here. You can go in, put your email, name, what advice you have. This is Data Notebooks. And then you can write and include any links of resources you might have that go into detail about a data notebook. Again, feel free to email or send me a Google chat if you need additional help. All right, thank you guys.